Please be seated. To the audience who are here in the auditorium, to family, guardians, and guests who may be watching live stream in one of our classrooms or watching from your home across the country or from across the world. Welcome to the commencement ceremony to celebrate the Lower Moreland High School class of 2022. My name is Bill Miles. I'm very proud to be the principal of Lower Moreland High School. I would like to thank Mr. Obinger and members of our band. At this time, I ask that you take a moment to silence all cell phones and please to refrain from anything that would be disruptive and that may take away from the dignity of this momentous occasion. We gather this evening to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2022. Your class has been recognized for academic achievement countywide, statewide, and nationally. Activities in athletics including FBLA, mock trial, choir, strings orchestra, jazz band, tennis, softball, swimming, and soccer, to name a few, have earned success. Also, whether through Notes of Hope, Treats for Ukraine, Minithon, or the National Honor Society, you have found ways to give back to the community. Your pathway to graduation has not always been easy. Your last regular school year was freshman year. Yet, you persisted, overcame adversity, and made it to the finish line. While it isn't exactly the finish line, while the term commencement describes an event like this where diplomas are distributed, it is also a term that denotes a beginning. Only one part of your journey is ending this evening. You may be familiar with the lyrics from the band Semisonic. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Right? Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And in a similar vein, T.S. Eliot wrote, "What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from." That said, while it's closing time for your high school career, the Lower Moreland class of 2022 has left its mark, and you have more to contribute to our community, society, and the world. Your teachers describe you as resourceful, resilient, musical, caring, talented, and funny. You are further described as being the light in the darkness. I love that when I asked your teachers to give me some ideas of how to describe you. You are the light in the darkness. Over the course of your high school career, you have demonstrated perseverance and courage and have had a positive impact on others. And I wish each of you success and happiness. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the president of the class of 2022, Zihan Yang.
Hello, class of 2022. For those of you in the last 12 years who overcame obstacles, who pushed boundaries, who created positive change in the world, who persevered, and that's all of you seniors in the crowd right now, welcome. Welcome to our graduation ceremony. Now to all the parents, faculty, administrators, and friends, on behalf of the graduating class, I would also like to welcome you to our graduation ceremony. My name is Zihan Yang, and I'm the president of the class of 2022. For the past 12 years, I had the pleasure of getting to know a class of 198 students, aspiring physicists, talented athletes, remarkable dancers, hardworking tradesmen, and successful dropshippers. Boat on out there, just to name a few. But, individually, I know that we're all special. Benasaur and his lucrative sneaker business, yeah? Selena and her poetry Instagram account. David Cohen and his oddly good impression of Borat. Right. Allison and her cheer team. Elena with her crocheted mushroom hat she puts on her little frog. And David Volchanok being David. And now consider all of these individual people together as the class of 2022, and it is clear, it's abundantly clear that we are strong. Over the last 4 years, the class of 2022 has helped donate over $550,000 to the fight against pediatric cancer in Minithon. Right. In the National Honor Society, the class of 2022 has volunteered for hundreds of hours, with many others conducting their own volunteer work outside of the school as well. We founded the Girl Ups chapter of Lower Moreland and the Gift of Life Club. We pioneered virtual learning, both asynchronous and synchronous, starting in March 2020, and the alternating schedule when half of us would come in to school Monday, Thursday, and the others Tuesday and Friday. And so standing here and looking out at all of my friends, all of the class of 2022, I can say with confidence that as a class, we grew closer, despite all the barriers in our way. In the end, the academic struggles in class and obstacles that we faced in high school will eventually be forgotten. But the bonds within our class forged by these 4 years together, that is what will last the longest. And so here, let me show you. When I mention a club or an activity that you participated in, just make some noise. We have the mock trialers out there. The track stars? Yeah, swimmers? Okay, coders? David? Yeah, football players. Yeah, soccer players. Lions Roar riders. Yearbook designers. Tennis players. Yeah. Band and orchestra musicians. Minithon captains. Basketball players. Lacrosse players. Field hockey players. Artists. Every club, organization, and after-school activity that the class of 2022 has participated in, we have built our own community. And so just think back to senior prom, the field trip to Six Flags, senior sunrise and sunset, junior prom, the winter ball, all the bike rides to ice with coffees and Zoom calls over quarantine, the STEM project in Hogan's 8th grade science class, the Leaf Guide project in Mrs. Kelly's class. We have Peak, the 5th grade dance, the 4th grade trip to Amish County, all the memories that we made throughout our time at Lower Moreland, all the way to the first step that you took in the doors of Pine Road. This community has become the source of so many memories and has endured countless obstacles. And so, as we leave this vibrant school environment shaped and crafted from the personalities and quirks of every single classmate, I would like to reassure you that this community isn't going anywhere. It'll always be here for us. John's always going to call someone to ask for help on his assignment due that same day. Mitch and Lee will continue to argue with everyone and with each other as well. Jack Spurl, who sadly didn't invite me to any of his parties, will continue to throw the greatest bangers when we're all on break. And so, of course, things will be different after today. And trust me, I've been consoling Lizzie's graduation scaries, but here's what I'll tell you. No matter how far we all go, we will always be Lower Moreland's class of 2022. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Zihan. Please welcome Dr. James Lee, a member of the Lower Moreland Township Board of School Directors, for opening remarks.
Members of the class of 2022, parents, guardians, and loved ones, faculty and administration, good evening. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to share a few remarks as a member of the Lower Moreland School Board. It is especially an honor as my daughter Ava is graduating tonight. Hi, Ava. I've also had the pleasure of watching many of you over the past 13 years mature into the amazing young adults you are today. To share this moment with you and your families is truly a unique privilege. I'd like to start by recognizing the incredible work done by our administration this year and the past 2 years to get us to where we are today, weathering the uncertainties of a global pandemic. Thank you for your focus on maintaining the safest learning environment for all of our children. To the members of the class of 2022, thank you for your patience and understanding, as we, your community, have tried to support you as best we can through these tumultuous times. Thank you most of all to our faculty, our teachers and aides for working through adversity and maintaining a steady presence for our students. I would also like to recognize Catherine Siciliano, high school business teacher, who retired this year after 25 years of service to our district. Thank you. Tonight, there are 3 things I'd like to share with you, the class of 2022. A reflection, a piece of advice, and a perspective on what tonight means to us, your parents, guardians, and loved ones. From watching this group over the years, I believe what makes this class so special is that you are a community of individuals who have continually supported each other to make each other better. An excellent public education system can provide structure and opportunities, but it is the people who are there along with you, classmates and friends who support you, who challenge you and who expect the same in return, who make a community of individuals whose mutual expectations of excellence and commitment help drive your collective success. I also firmly believe that you grow and learn invaluable lessons from your peers, lessons that are simply not taught in classrooms or in books. This is what made your time here incredibly special, being in this moment with peers who support and motivate each other to be better. So, if you agree with me, my question to you is this: whether or not you find yourself again in an environment like Lower Moreland, how will you continue to give back, support, and challenge those around you? How will you make sure you carry forward what you experienced here to future opportunities for growth for yourself, for those around you, and especially for those less fortunate than you? How will you help make your collective community better for all its members? Which brings me to an unsolicited piece of advice. Please be humble. With humility comes perspective, and with perspective comes an appreciation of what you and others have experienced. You should still acknowledge all the hard work you and your family have done to put yourself in the best position to succeed, and I have no doubt you will all succeed in your own ways. But no matter what accolades and awards you achieve, please always remember there is something you can do to give back, even if it's the smallest of gestures. You will never know how much of an impact you can have if you do not try. And it's your humility that will compel you to try. Perhaps not every day, but it will move you when the time is right. Finally, my perspective as a parent on this occasion of commencement. You will hear innumerable times how proud we are of each of you. We are incredibly proud of all you have achieved and of the unique individuals you have all become. Yet, a parent's pride on a night like tonight is wrapped up with so many other emotions that are difficult to describe. For me, there's a sense of transition, if not closure, of a period of innocence and dependency which you've clearly outgrown. We say we welcome your new independence, but we also do not, because we will always worry for your safety and for your health, whether you're 10 minutes or 10 hours away. We are very excited for you to experience so many firsts in the years ahead. We can only hope that we've given you the skills and tools to continue to grow as you navigate life's balance of success, struggle, joy, and heartbreak. My point in sharing this perspective with you is simply to remind you that as you move on to the next chapters in your lives, we as your parents, guardians, and loved ones are feeling these many strong emotions because we have felt them for so long, from your first minutes on this earth up to this very moment, and we will continue to feel them in the many years ahead. These emotions certainly do not fade away. I share this not to tether you close, nor to give you a sense of guilt, just to give you the awareness, the comforting sensation of a guiding hand on your shoulder, a reminder of who is behind you as you shift your focus so far ahead to the horizon. But very simply, we will always be here for you. Congratulations, class of 2022, and best of luck to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. At this time, I would invite to come forward the senior members of the music department. Us singing of America the Beautiful. Thank you, Ms. Diener and members of the music department. Please be seated. I would like to introduce the dignitaries who are with us this evening. Seated on stage are Dr. Scott Davidheiser, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Thomas, grade principal for the class of 2022, and Dr. James Lee. Also here to celebrate with the class of 2022 are many school district administrators, members of the school board of directors, and faculty members. I would like to acknowledge their participation and commend them for their commitment to the success of each student. On behalf of the class of 2022, I thank you for playing such a critical role in the development of these wonderful young men and women whom we celebrate this evening. Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the salutatorian of the class, Nathaniel Rubin.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to start off by thanking teachers, staff, and administration for teaching and giving me the opportunity to be speaking here today. I am extremely honored to have been selected. I'd also like to thank my friends, and most importantly, my family, for shaping me into who I am today. Roughly 4 years ago, we were sitting in this exact room getting ready to move on from middle school during our 8th grade promotion ceremony. I was so excited to finally leave behind my awkward middle school past, and I'm sure a lot of you wanted to as well. Behind the excitement, however, I remember hearing the phrase, "High school will go by in the blink of an eye," repeated over and over by teachers and parents. At the time, I dismissed the phrase as just another old people saying. How could someone triple my age tell me what high school would be like? And as much as I don't want to say it, I, of course, was completely wrong. Except, it wasn't just high school, but life in general that blinked. I mean, so many things happened from the time we started at Pine Road to now. Who remembers the 5th grade trip to Camp America, the Stafford student volleyball games at Murray Avenue, all the field days, concerts, sporting events we've had? Some of these memories may have turned into core memories for you, and others, foggy pasts in the back of your mind. I know I'll never forget back in 2nd grade when we released our precious butterflies, and then they got eaten by birds. I learned about survival of the fittest that day, and I think it's a core memory now. I'm sure we all remember the day when school closed for a week during our sophomore year due to COVID-19. I was sitting in 8th period study hall when the governor, Tom Wolf, made that iconic announcement. Oh, how that turned out to be. Fast forward to the present, and we've had one completely normal year of high school. Except, who would want to remember their high school years as a COVID-19 class? For the past 2 years, at least one student speaking at their high school graduation has labeled their class as such, the class that graduated during the COVID-19 pandemic, that had classes virtually, that lost the experiences that normal high schoolers should have. I don't want our class to be marked by COVID-19, for our class is the first since the pandemic started in which we were able to have almost an entirely normal year of school. We were able to see faces again. We had concerts, shows, events, prom. By no means am I saying that the pandemic is over. There's still a long way to go. However, with the continued cooperation of community members and families, we are headed in a positive direction. Unfortunately, a lot more happened than just COVID. Who remembers when half the world was on fire, or when World War III almost happened, or when it almost happened again this year? How about when gas prices almost became higher than my GPA? Almost. When you look back at this graduation in, let's say, 10 years, will you remember your high school days by events happening around you or experiences you yourself faced? When school was starting up this year, I set a challenge for myself. Make the most memorable experiences while keeping up with school. I think it's safe to say that the school criteria passed, as I'm speaking on this stage right now. However, I'm also proud to say that this has been my most fun and memorable year of school ever. As a freshman, sophomore, and junior, I only cared about grades. I grounded out school, studied for tests, and I thankfully got the grades I wanted. But what did that leave me with? I guess it left me with a good report card and a couple of memories that I could look back on. I wanted this year to be different. I wanted to escape my shell, try new experiences, and I've made so many more memories that I'll cherish forever than all of my previous years in school. But why was this challenge so important to me? I didn't want my time to be at Lower Moreland to be a foggy past. I want to look back at the experiences I've had and keep the good memories with me forever. Otherwise, what was the point of going to school for 13 years if you won't be able to remember it? Was it all just a big waste of time? I really hope it wasn't, and I hope you don't either. As we go off into the world, we should always try to remember the good, fun, enjoyable, interesting, happy, proud moments we've had throughout our time at Lower Moreland. And I'm challenging myself once again, alongside you, that we will put ourselves in as many situations as possible that allow us to create core memories in whatever future path you take. For memories are what you'll be able to look back on while you talk with your future family and friends. They'll allow you to travel back in time to a place when you were happy, if you're feeling down. Memories are what make us human, and without them, we will all just be foggy beings with nothing to share or experience. Congratulations, class of 2022, and thank you.
Please welcome to the podium our valedictorian for the class of 2022, Gopiga Das.
Good evening, everyone. To start, I'd like to thank my parents and my sister Brenda, who was supposed to be here, but was actually kicked to the band room to make room for family friends. I'd like to thank my friends who've had to experience firsthand how flaky I am when it comes to plans. I thank the teachers, administrators, and the rest of the faculty for providing a quality education that I am positive we will forget in a couple of months. And I specifically want to thank the janitorial staff for keeping our schools clean. We wouldn't be where we are without them. I realize that for a lot of you, this is probably the first time you've heard me talk. So let me introduce myself. My name is Gopiga, not George, Georgia, Gabriella, but Gopiga, known to most as the quiet Indian girl who sits in the back of the class. It's funny how they chose the person who is least qualified to represent the class. I'm the valedictorian, for God's sakes. My GPA is not just a number that represents my achievement. It also quantifies my loneliness. And I'm looking around right now, and there's faces I don't even recognize. Now, I also realized while writing this speech that it's incredibly awkward to be standing up here and addressing people who have objectively accomplished more than I have. The decorated student athletes, the talented musicians, and the creative artists. My audience includes someone who's going to Harvard. It's intimidating to say the least. In terms of advice, I don't have much to say on success, but I can speak to failure. Opening up those college decisions letters made me feel like I was Charlie opening up that candy bar. I wanted that golden ticket so badly. I opened up the first letter, rejected. I opened up the second letter, rejected. The third letter, rejected. But on that fourth letter, I got rejected. I was rejected from a total of 7 programs and universities. I have read the phrase, "we regret to inform you," so many times it has genuinely given me trauma. I was at Starbucks the other day and I was talking to the barista and she says, "We regret to inform you." And I start to feel my whole body tense up and I look at her in horror. Meanwhile, she's staring back at me, incredibly confused, and finishes, "We regret to inform you we're out of cake pops, Gabriella." I haven't stepped foot in that Starbucks since. We regret to inform you. Why did these 5 little words have this much control over me? Failure is terrifying, and oftentimes the unfortunate result when taking a chance. Sometimes you may feel the odds are in your favor, and yet things don't quite play up to your expectations. Taking a chance is like flipping a coin. I'm really hoping for heads, and I should have a 50% chance of getting it. After the first flip, I got tails. No matter, I'll try again. The probability is 50%, so I should get it on the next try. I got tails. The next flip, tails again. I was promised a 50% chance, and yet 3 flips later, I have 0. Life is a long, complicated series of coin flips. And we're all gamblers, ingrained from birth with the mantra that if we put in the hard work, then we are guaranteed success. Unfortunately, as Mr. Murphy has taught us, probability does not work that way. Life does not work that way. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. The universe doesn't owe you anything. You might think I'm being cynical. Why bother at all then and put in all that effort if it means failure? Well, the silver lining is that if you keep trying, you eventually will get what you want. It may not be how you were expecting it or when, but good things will happen. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. We are going to struggle so much. Each and every one of us is going to experience failure in our lives, and not just once, but many times. We regret to inform you that your loan has been denied. We regret to inform you that you have not been selected for this job. We regret to inform you that your car's extended warranty has fortunately expired. But you have to get back up, because failure is only temporary. But regret is eternal, and quitting is the cradle of regret. When you look back at your life 5, 20, or 50 years from now, you won't remember the pain of falling, but the bitter taste of regret will stay with you forever. If you let failure stop you from ever moving forward, sure, it's guaranteed that you'll never fail again. But what's also guaranteed is that you'll never succeed again. And 1,000 failures make up for a good success. You owe it to the world to get back up. We are the future generations of doctors, engineers, artists, scientists, teachers, entrepreneurs, designers. The world is tough, but so are we. And most importantly, you owe it to yourself to get back up. It is about drive. It is about power, and as we all know, we stay hungry. We devour. And even if you do fail, so what? Every new experience comes with knowledge, and with knowledge, you grow and shape yourself into the next best version of yourself. We seniors took risks throughout the entirety of this year, both good and bad. From waiting to the last minute to turn in a Moxie essay, to getting up on stage and singing your heart out at Java Jam, or even bringing a canoe to school and getting it taken from you within 5 minutes. As we get older, we will learn that some risks are worth taking, and the best risks leave us and the world in a better place than it was before. One of my favorite quotes comes from Henry David Thoreau. "There is more day to dawn. The sun is but a morning star." For the simpletons who don't enjoy reading books where the author describes bubbles for 3 straight pages, the quote means this: there is always something new to discover, and every opportunity can open up a world of excitement and wonder, if and only if you take it. So graduates, I will leave you with this. If you flipped a coin and lost, remember, we all will. The only way to get heads is to flip again. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2022.
The Lower Moreland class of 2022 is poised to accomplish great things. This class will be attending over 60 different universities, colleges, community colleges, or technical schools. Their travels will take them across the state, across the country, and around the world. Some of our graduates will immediately join the workforce. Others will pursue fields including computer science, business, communications, biological sciences, psychology, finance, engineering, marketing, and nursing. The class of 2022 has earned scholarships, grants, and other award monies that total just under $5.4 million. At this time, I would like to acknowledge several groups of students who have received special recognition. The first group consists of those individuals who received an honor on our Senior Awards Night. If you were honored on Senior Awards Night, please rise and face the audience. These students accumulated awards in the amount of $83,000. Congratulations. Please be seated. The next group consists of those individuals who distinguished themselves in the National Merit Scholar Competition. When your name is called, please rise and face the audience. And please hold your applause until all names have been introduced. Misha R. Bankula, Kathleen Chen, Gopiga Das, Melanie J. Juan, Selena Lin, Bumyol Park, Nathaniel M. Rubin. Congratulations. Please be seated. And the next three students have been recognized as National Merit Scholar finalists. Gabrielle R. Leon, David F. Volchanik, and Zihan Yang. Congratulations. Please be seated. The next group of students have been recognized for excellence by the Eastern Center for Arts and Technology. Kayla Boyle, Sarah Brodsky, Joseph Kondo, Pavan Reggie, Russell Wynn. Congratulations. Please be seated. And the final group consists of those who have received external awards and scholarships that may not have been previously recognized, as well as students who have served on a district committee. So at this time, if you have received an external award in the community, or if you have served on a district committee, please rise and be recognized by the audience. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I welcome Dr. Scott Davidheiser, Superintendent of the Lower Moreland Township School District.
Thank you, Mr. Miles. On behalf of the Board of School Directors, faculty, support staff, and administration of Lower Moreland Township School District, we'd like to welcome the parents, relatives, friends, Lower Moreland community members, and most importantly, the seniors who make up the class of 2020. This evening, we are here to honor 183 graduates of the class of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special group of young adults, and it's been my honor and privilege to serve as superintendent of schools, most especially during this class's senior year. As a class, you have represented yourselves, your families, and the school district extremely well. Your presence of mind to recognize that life is fragile and therefore valuable sets you apart from others. Your curiosity and quest for knowledge, culture, experience, and connections make you engaging. Simply put, your empathy breeds compassion. The philanthropic endeavors and activities that you've been involved in, supported, and cultivated during your time in Lower Moreland leaves an unforgettable legacy. Each and every graduate this evening has a unique story about their path to achieving the honor of receiving their own diploma. While each and every one of these stories helps define each of you and are extremely important, to share all 183 stories this evening is not possible. However, as you continue on the next steps of your journey, I encourage you to share your story with others. Your story has helped to shape and mold who you are, and it will continue to build community and allow others' appreciation into your lives. The next steps and adventures for each and every one of you most times cannot be taken without others. The better you know and understand those around you, the better you can connect in moving forward in accomplishing the goals that you have set. Your story will contain chapters, some longer, some shorter, but all pages of those chapters help define you. The one thing that each passing year teaches all of us is that there is no script, no real set of directions, nor any real roadmap for that matter, to follow when charting our own futures. What we do have, however, is our own internal compass. It's that strong magnetic pull that informs each and every one of us to do the right thing, make the difficult choices, and set a course for ourselves, one that is both challenging but also rewarding along the way. Having worked with so many others in helping to lead a school district, it is clear that attempting to do the right thing, make difficult choices, turn those choices into decisions, and set a course for others to follow is quite challenging. But at the same time, ironically, it's also very rewarding. Rewarding in the fact that the sum of so many varying and oftentimes intangible qualities in people will always be greater than if we each acted alone, just as Aristotle had theorized nearly 2,300 years ago. As graduates, I encourage you to question, what is your thing? What drives you? What motivates you? What inspires you? The key to learning and understanding these aspects about yourself are the cornerstone to building your own internal compass, which will include many intangible qualities that will assist you along the way. As renowned Russian author Leo Tolstoy shared, everyone often thinks of changing the world, but no one really ever thinks about changing themselves. I challenge you to create an environment of continuous self-improvement. In fact, who wouldn't want to be around someone who was kind in their giving of attention and appreciation to others, who was respectful by treating others as important, who was selfless in thinking about themselves less than others, who was honest and authentic, and who was patient in showing self-control? I encourage you to develop and seek the intangible qualities, those qualities that aren't always easily quantified or qualified, but rather they are measured by those around you and the types of feelings, inspiration, and happiness you're able to develop in them. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2022 has continued the lasting traditions that were established by all previous Lower Moreland Township School District graduating classes. A strong family of teachers, support personnel, administration, and family have worked together to shape this culture of success. To the class, I want to affirm that your lives are invaluable. They are priceless. Your lives are worthy of boldly and vibrantly living each and every single day. Find gratitude for what you have and stay open to the possibilities that still remain. I hope that you've learned the skills to understand and solve the challenges facing your generation. There are many complex issues that will require informed, thoughtful citizens to participate in the democratic process. Use the lessons learned in your classes to make the world a better place. Most of all, I hope you realize that you've earned the respect of the faculty and community with your work. Your graduation, your stories, and your intangible qualities place you in a growing group of Lower Moreland Township School District alumni who are doing great things in this world. Congratulations, class of 2022.
At this time, I ask our senior music department members to come forward as they will perform Living in Harmony under the direction of Ms. Chelsea Diener, Dr. Goulash, and Mr. John Obinger.
I have the faith and I believe that everyone can live in harmony. All you need is love and a heart to see the power that comes when we agree.
I have the faith and I believe that everyone can live in harmony. All you need is love and a heart to see the power that comes when we agree.
Living in harmony the way it was meant to be. A choice we all can make. It's more than a fantasy, it's what I believe. A world made for you and me.
Living in harmony the way it was meant to be. A choice we all can make. It's more than a fantasy, it's what I believe. I have a dream that will decide to be a world that's unified. All we need is love and to believe in the strength that we have in unity. No matter what may come, stand in the way. I know that I can focus on a brighter day, believing that with love we can choose to be the goodness that we want to see. Living in harmony the way it was meant to be. A choice we all can make. It's more than a fantasy, it's what I believe. A world made for you and me. Living in harmony the way it was meant to be. A choice we all can make. It's more than a fantasy, it's what I believe. It's time to stand up, shine the light in the darkness, standing hard to the homeless, be the change we want to see. No, we won't give up till we make what is broken. Be the love unspoken, we are one community. Living in harmony the way it was meant to be. A choice we all can make. It's more than a fantasy, it's what I believe. A world made for you and me. Living in harmony the way it was meant to be. A choice we all can make. It's more than a fantasy, it's what I believe. Living in harmony. It's more than a fantasy, it's what I believe.
Thank you, students, Dr. Goulash, Ms. Diener, Mr. Omiger. At this time, please welcome to the podium for the presentation of class gift, Treasurer Noah Kim, and Secretary Selena Lin.
Good evening, fellow students, parents, teachers, administrators, and honorary guests, and also a special welcome to my family who are hopefully sitting on the right side of the room. As you already know, the handsome fellow to my left is Noah.
And the lovely gal to my right is Selena Lin. Tonight, we are proud to be presenting, drum roll please, The class of 2022's class gift. After receiving so much from Lower Moreland High School in the past 4 years, it is finally the class of 2022's time to give back. As a class, we have prided ourselves on our perseverance, optimism, and enthusiasm for supporting others, even in unprecedented and uncertain times. Even with virtual schooling, social distancing, and various other obstacles, our class found ways to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Sure, we face challenges and limitations due to the pandemic, but we also adjusted to a new normal. We maintained our grades despite technical difficulties with virtual classes. We strengthened our friendships despite often being stuck at home. Many of us also took the time to support our community through various forms of both in-person and virtual and online volunteering, despite already participating in quite a number of extracurriculars.
My fellow seniors and I had the opportunity to have an incredible senior year, one that was filled with new events, experiences, and lessons to learn from. From our first day of fully in-person school last year to our in-person graduation right now, our class has had a variety of opportunities to make up for the times that we lost to the pandemic. We even had an in-person mini-thon, an in-person prom, and multiple in-person concerts with even in-person audiences. But we couldn't have done all of this without the support from various Lower Moreland High School teachers. To show our appreciation for the teachers who have helped us navigate the uncharted waters of high school, and despite the circumstances, turn our senior year into such a memorable experience, our class is establishing the Class of 2022 Perseverance Fund. Each year, a chosen teacher, one who embodies the spirit of our class in their perseverance, optimism, and enthusiasm for supporting LMHS students, will be given the honor of receiving a donation from our fund to spend towards anything of their choice that directly enhances the experiences of future and current Lower Moreland High School teachers. After all that our teachers have done to help us, we hope that our class gift will help benefit them in ways that make their jobs a little easier and also their teaching experiences a little more fun. Thank you again to all of our precious teachers, and I hope you know the incredible impact that you have on all of your students. And lastly, congratulations, Class of 2022.
Thank you, Selena and Noah. And at this time, please welcome to the podium the class vice president, Elizabeth Bond.
Good evening, students, families, friends, and staff. My name is Elizabeth Bond, and I'm the Vice President of the Class of 2022. Before we walk, or for some of us, run across this stage a final time and become alumni of Lower Moreland High School, I would like to thank those who not only shaped but created our Lower Moreland experience. First, our superintendent, Dr. David Heiser, our principal, Mr. Miles, and our vice principals, Mr. Thomas and Ms. Geenans. Without all of your support, every single event that we put on would not have come to fruition. Thank you for attending our sporting events, trips, concerts, productions, and proms, eager to support our class. Second, we would like to thank the janitorial staff, who kept our school clean so we could focus on our learning, and who so kindly supplied us with and transported technology, tables, and other necessities for our sunset, sunrise, school dances, and all of our events. Our accomplishments as a class would not have been possible without your help and your kindness. Thank you also to the kitchen staff, who happily supplied us with ample amounts of juicy juice, those absolutely delicious cookies, and chicken nuggets every day. We appreciate your work immensely, though we may not have always expressed it. The teachers and counselors of Lower Moreland are the backbone of not only the successes we showcase now, but those that we will boast in the future. Our teachers built the foundation that we stand on as graduates. It is because of you, because of your resilience, dedication, and kindness towards your students, even in the face of adversity, that I have confidence that we as students will all go on to succeed in our lives personally and professionally. Whether through dedicating hours after school to raise money to bring an end to the fight against pediatric cancer, or before school, making sure every student has their biweekly dose of LM News, coaching sports teams, or reviewing test materials after school, we appreciate you and your passion for sharing your learning with your students. Thank you especially to the families and everyone here today who supported us through each step of our lives, and the friends and family members who were always there for us when we faltered. You shaped us into the people we are today, ready to take on life's joys and its challenges. Thank you for driving us to school, events, concerts, and sports, and for driving to the store late at night to buy materials for a project we forgot to mention was due the next day. Your love and encouragement to follow our dreams, regardless of how big, means more than you know. A special shout out to my family, who keeps my life fun, fresh, exciting, and inspires me to be the best version of myself every day. The class officers would also like to thank all of our class advisors, Mrs. Lawler, Mrs. Maxwell, Mr. Pezza ×2, and Mr. Conrad, for their time and effort in support of our class. This year was Mr. Conrad's first as a senior class advisor, and conveniently, our first as senior class officers. That being said, the four of us want to thank you for the time you spent working on our long list of to-do items while helping us to plan new events, and doing so with a positive attitude and always a great sense of humor. We'd also like to thank Mr. Tamaccio and Mr. Sella for guiding us all through planning the events that we can make possible for our class. I would like to extend an honorable mention to the time that Mr. Tamaccio snuck into prom dressed as a waiter. Speaking of my co-officers, Andy, Selena, and Noah, it has been a pleasure to work with you for the past 4 years as class officers, and a blast to learn from your leadership skills, creativities, and personalities as we have both worked and grown together. I will miss our campaign photo shoots, our group chat, and our basement planning sessions dearly. I'm so grateful that we got to work for our class, and guys, I could not have imagined this experience with anyone else. Last but certainly not least, I would like to thank all the members of our graduating class. We have learned more from each other than anyone else, and I hope that as you look around, you find that the relationships you have formed here will stay with you far beyond the red brick walls of Lower Moreland. Thank you for letting me learn from you all too. Our time in high school forced us to adapt unlike ever before, and recognizing that we persevered through these challenges gives me the comfort of knowing that we can overcome any obstacle our futures may present. Besties, I'm so proud of us. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And now we have arrived at the most exciting part of this commencement exercise. At this time, I would ask Dr. David Heiser, Dr. Lee, and Mr. Thomas to assist me as we present the diplomas to the members of the class of 2022. The names of the graduates will be read by Mr. John Conrad, Senior Class Advisor. And we respectfully ask that you please keep from doing anything that would interrupt this part of the ceremony or prevent anyone from hearing the graduates' names. So at this time, please bring the graduates forward.
Kevin Abraham. Aiden Achilde. Haya Ajaj. Anya Akbanainen. Aram El Salim. Flavio Aliyah. Braden Alicia. Lotan Alan. Sarah Asman. Benjamin Asor. Jeffrey Astillero. Jonah Bayless. Alana Housen. Alexa Banford. Misha Bankula. Noah Barzeski. Mark Berdachevsky. Sophia Berman. Sophia Borakovich. Francesca Favasso. Isabella Favasso. Lauren Bowles. Kayla Boyle. Sarah Brodsky. Andrew Chania. Morgan Charn. Declan Campbell. Lauren Chaikin. Jeffrey Chen. Jerry Chen. Kathleen Chen. Ken Chong. Kevin Clark. David Cohen. Joseph Kondo. Brian Cordiff. Olivia Chuddick. Jake Cullen. Grace Curran. Bridget Daly. Ahmad Darwish. Keith Davalos. Mary Davalos. Naina Devkin. Sarah Diaz. Ethan Diaz. Sophia Duffy. Jessica Dugo. Jackson Dye. Ariana Aderi. Faris Elazazi. Matthew Ernst. Emily Fee. Maya Feldman. Victoria Finnegan. Michael Goldenberg. Geraldine Gonzalez. Victoria Gottesman. Brian Grant. Lucas Gratkowski. Neve Healy. Brian Hedgedus. Kylie Hopkins. Matthew Hudek. Melanie Juan. Vladimir Aikushin. Ahmad Ibrahim. Bodan Jari. Yaquang Kang. Zoe Karras. Paris Keegan. Talon Castro. Nicholas Kamoyan. Michael Kripkov. Alexander Kikichishvili. Nicholas Kikichishvili. Ashley J. Kim. Ashley Eugene Kim. Minsu Kim. Emily Kipperbos. Hannah Klanderman. Emma Kolesnik. Cheryl Kara. Ria Kavor. Timothy Kroll. Thomas Cooper. Mamuka Quezarelli. Tomas Lepeka. Henry Lee. Ava Lee. Gabrielle Leon. Joseph Levy. Vlad Lehman. Yuki Lee. Julian Lieberman. Corey Licht. Catherine Lifstead. Jeffrey Lynn. Jacob Lungen. Max Lustig. Meredith Lutter. Matan Makloff. Yagut Mama Husaneva. Adam Margolin. Michelle Marty. Jade McCool. Jack McFerrin. Sean McFerrin. Sean McGovern. Edwin Melendez. Anna Mishkovsky. Derek Myronenko. Sarah Mills. Good job, Sarah. Richley Montour. Sweet Charlotte Moore. Elijah Samuel Morales. Samantha Mushinsky. Nikita McCordoff. Rachel Myers. Anna Nanos. Sadie Nelson. Aiden Nasimi Minosis. Bumyal Park. Shashank Patel. Michael Panisi. Kira Playford. Brandon Polikoff. Ivan Q. Elena Ralph. Kyle Raskopin. Pavin Reggie. Elizaveta Ravitska. Aiden Ricciardi. Michaela Romanek. Layla Rizala. Ariana Rosario. Noor Sadie. Michael Salamone. Luke Sauter. Tyler Skolnick. Akash Shah. Samuel Strambrand. Alex Silverman. Lee Silverman. Nicholas Simon. Alyssa Sitman. Hannah Scaria. Jack Daniel Spurl. Joseph Stafurak. Brooke Stein. Aiden Stepansky. Samuel Stoyanov. Erica Stone. Sean Suleiman. Kira Sylvester. Ben Selecki. Kylie Tomorrow. Sydney Chong. Eric Tanofsky. Hannah Tran. Erica Trung. John Turr. Hannah Vidian. Alexander Viron. David Volchanik. Nathaniel Wakehoff. Cindy Wu. Russell Wynn. Evelyn Sow. Farah Yassin. Allison Zaleski. Nathaniel Rubin. Gopiga Das. Noah Kim. Selena Lynn. Elizabeth Bond. Zihan Yang.
At this time, I invite our graduates to please rise. And please move your tassel from your right to your left.
Mr. Miles, have the graduates fulfilled their requirements of graduation required by Lower Moreland High School?
Yes, they have.
By the power vested in me, I hereby declare the class of 2022 graduates of Lower Moreland High School. Congratulations.